Hi friends, hey, we're in full Christmas mode here and we are working on some more Christmas decor, Christmas ornaments, things getting ready for the season. And today we are going to do something with just some leftover ceramic tile to make a keepsake for Christmas.
They're gonna be awesome. So for this keepsake craft that we're going to do, we first gathered a bunch of pictures from past Christmases. We're just trying to really create a memorable Christmas this year because 2020 has thrown a wrench in everything for everybody. So we're trying to create a cozy, traditional, nostalgic Christmas. So we have gathered pictures from past Christmases and sized them all the same. You can do this in canva.com, or they have an app you can use. You can do Photoshop, any program that you are familiar with. And then we printed them with a laser printer. Now, if you don't have access to one of those, you can definitely send it to your copy shop and get those printed. You just need them printed with toner. That's the key to what we're going to do. So we're just going to use our paper trimmer and cut all of these pictures out. So I'll just get one cut here to tell you what we're gonna do for our next part. So for what we're doing, we decided it would be fun to round the corners. So we have scissors that will do just that. Okay, so it's almost a circle, but we just wanted some rounded edges to that. Another option for making your photographs even have more symmetrical edges, we wanted circles. You can use a paper punch, you can use any design or pattern that you want. This is a quick way to do it too, so you don't even have to trim the images first. Just insert your paper backward or upside down so you can see where you're going to punch. That one's a little trickier. We might leave that one a square. So remember we had these fun arabesque shaped tiles that we said we were going to use and create a Christmas keepsake. So we are going to transfer these images onto the tiles and create some ornaments. So what we're going to use to do that is this Mod Podge photo transfer medium. We're going to apply a coat on top of the picture, and do you have some poured in that bucket still? You want to make sure that the entire photo is covered, but you also don't want too much to be squishing out. So make sure you apply it evenly, and then if you feel like there's a lot of excess, just go ahead and wipe that off. And then once you have that all covered, especially focusing on the edges, take your image. Can't tell which. I'm gonna hold it up to the light for a second. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have it upside down. You're gonna center that on the ornament or the tile. It's gonna be an ornament. Make sure there's no air bubbles. Press it out. And then if you see any of the Mod Podge come out, just make sure to wipe it, because where we're using a shiny tile, it will show afterward. So once you have it like this, you just allow it to dry. How long was it again?
Well, it says 24 hours on the bottle, but I actually just let it sit for a couple of hours till it was totally dry, and then we'll come back and do the next step.
Show you what it looks like. So we picked up our arabesque tiles at Lowe's. We have 15 on a sheet here, and we paid $6. So 15 ornaments for $6. That's a pretty decent deal. So they are on this mesh backer. So we are just going to pull them off so that we can use them for our ornaments. Just comes off pretty easily. So I know this doesn't look like much now, but you're gonna see the incredible magic take place in our next clip. We've allowed all of our ornaments to dry. It's been a couple days, but it suggests 24 hours. The next step to getting the paper off is to take a sponge. It does say you can use a finger as well, but I think the sponge works a little better. And then you're going to dab the sponge onto the paper so you can let it soak in there. And once you've gotten the paper wet, hopefully you can see this, it's kind of bright right there. There we go. You will let this sit for 2 minutes, and we'll let that do its work and show you how to get it off. Now we're going to wring any extra water out of our sponge, and then using a circular motion, we're going to start rubbing the paper. You don't want to rub too hard. We learned that the hard way on the first one we tried, because it will just kind of tear it, but you can see the paper coming off, the image is starting to show. You may have to do this a couple of times to get it all off. Just kind of scoot those pieces away. And I have a little bit more rubbing to do, but I'll show you how it's looking. Look how cute. So we're working away getting all our ornaments done, and we just wanted to share a couple of tips with you that we've kind of learned through trial and error. So we've noticed that when you first get your image wet, you dab the sponge on. The less wet your sponge is, the better. You really want to push that water into the paper. If you have too much water, it tends to let that tear when you're rubbing the other layer off, which kind of does give it a cool effect if you're going for like a vintage look. So on some of these, we actually do like it. And then we've decided that it's just best to work in layers. So this one has been rubbed off for about the first layer, and you can take your sponge just to wet it slightly, and then we've noticed it's better to just take your finger at this point and rub all the excess off, and it just makes a much cleaner, crisp image. So we have just cut little pieces off of paper clips. We're gonna use those for the hangers and then tie some ribbon through there. And we've also have a little bit of this Gorilla Glue out on a plate here. We're just going to get the paper clip glued, then stick it on and let those dry. To finish up the ornaments, we're going to tie a white ribbon for the loop and then embellish them with a red ribbon. So these have been really fun to make. They're really kind of fun little keepsake. I think my kids would even love the whole process of taking the paper off. And if you think about it, it's kind of cool too, just to know that this is not a photograph, it's just toner that's been transferred on. So it's pretty cool. You can also do colored images too. We just chose black and white to give it an aged vintage look since we were using old photos. Also, this red ribbon frays a little bit, but we think that kind of just adds to the vintage texture too. There they are.
Overall, this was a really fun Christmas keepsake to create. We are excited for Christmas this year and hope to make it really memorable for our kids and just make it a good one since 2020 has been crazy. So we hope you liked this tutorial. Subscribe to our channel if you liked it. Just to recap some of the tips, we would let the Mod Podge cure the full 24 hours. We let ours go a couple days just because we got busy doing some other projects. And then just making sure to rub lightly to get the paper off and do a couple of layers, and you should get some great results as well. So we hope you liked this. Again, thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel. You can also check the links below for social media. We like to share what we're working on before it hits YouTube and our blog on Instagram, so make sure to follow us there. And as always, here at Sunnyside Design, we hope to bring your home to the sunny side of the street.